Happy St. Patrick's Day. The Colorado Association of REALTORS released their February 2023 report for housing in all the state of Colorado. So we're going to look at this report. It includes single family and townhouses and condos. And then I'm going to focus specifically afterwards on El Paso County and Denver County and Pueblo County. And if you want to know any particular information about any other counties, send me a DM or send me a comment here below. All right, here we go. This is the statewide report for February 2023. So, single family market overview. So, again, this is detached houses. This does not include condos and townhomes. And this is for all of Colorado. So, new listings, we're looking from a year-to-year basis from January of 2022 all the way to February or through February 2023. So year to year so we're looking at, again, February, year to year from February 2022 to 2023. There's been a 19.6% drop in new listings. Now, you may hear percentages about regarding real estate for, new listings. Oh, we're down, this percentage, or days on market shot up, this much percent. And that's all well and good, I guess, but that doesn't really mean anything to you if you don't know what the actual numbers are. Percentages sound scary. When you see actual numbers, that really puts it into perspective. So to give you this example, we're looking at it right here. The number of listings that we had in February 2022, we had 6,557 new listings. In February of 2023, just last month, we only had 5,271 new listings. We still had a bunch of new listings. We just had like 1,300 less than we did at the same time last year. So again, it's very relative to, I don't like saying the percentages because that does really seems misleading unless you're going to pair it with the actual numbers. And I would say give the number first because the number, I think, matters more. And so if we look to the right of that, year to date in 2022, there was a total in Colorado, state of Colorado, there was a total of 12,273 new listings compared to 2023. So far, year to date, we've got 9,987 new listings. So, so for that's year, so as of February 2022, we'd already had a little over 12,000 new listings. And so far, as of February of this year, we've got 9,987 new listings. That's an 18.6% drop. So now the percentage kind of makes sense now that you've gone from, we had 12,000 this time last year total for the year, and now we've had almost 10,000 this year total for the year. Again, almost a 20% drop, but the numbers, I think, help. So we'll look at this too, the pending and under contracts. February of 2022, we had 6,228 pending under contract properties versus last month, we had 5,686 pending / under contracts. That's an 8.7% drop year to year. And that's not a huge drop. Sold listings. Again, February 2022, we had 5,260 sold listings compared to February 2023, 4,231 sold listings. That's a 19.6% change downward. So a 20% drop in and that's actually the number that I was telling people. It was about 20% less in sales is what I've been seeing, year to year. So yeah, 19.6%. There you go. Median sales price, February 2022, it was $555,000, and now it's at $536,000. That's a 3.4% drop. So year to year, let's say you bought February 2022, your house has depreciated in value by 3.4%. That's not too bad. I mean, obviously you don't want that, but considering we're supposed to be in some major recession, is it major? Is it minor? I don't know. Are we in it yet? Has it been called? I just, we had the negative in it to sequential. What is it? Semesters, or I'm trying to think of the word, but you know what I mean. So we had two things of negative growth to call an official recession, but I don't know. Average sales price February in 2022 was $694,674 versus last month was $663,991. That's a 4.4% drop year over year. This is a fun one. In the so February 2022, properties were getting on average 102.9% above so 2.9% above their asking price. They were getting 102.9% of the percent of list price received. So 2.9% more than what they were asking for on average. Now, as of February 2023, 98.5% of their asking price or their listing price. So they're getting 4.3% less on that. Days on market. In February of last year, that was 32, and now it's 65. So that one is scary. Ooh, that's 103.1%. Oh my gosh. The days on market, homes are sitting on market 103.1% longer. I mean, yes, technically, but a 60 to 95 or a 60 to 90 days on market range is a normal range. That's a normal market. So that's not really a concern to me. That looks more normal to me. 4 days on market, that was what was not normal. Even 30 days on market, that's a quick market. The housing affordability index was at 65 out of 100, I believe, February of last year, and now it's at 53. That's an 18.5% drop. Inventory. Last February, we had 5,707 active listings at that moment, or at that point for that month. February 2023, we had 9,094 active listings. That's a 59.3% gain. And yes, we've had almost double the amount of inventory that we had in February of last year. However, the percentage of sold properties has dropped almost 20%. So I find that very interesting. And this is similar to my market here in Colorado Springs, is that, yeah, we're seeing a lot more buyer interest. We're seeing more people show up at open houses. We're seeing more showings, definitely, but we're not necessarily seeing that translate into more sales. Even though there is more that's available, there's still low inventory. There is still more available that could be sold, but it's not selling as fast. So just interesting. The months of supply of inventory at February 2022 was 0.7 months, almost 1 month. February 2023, 1.4 months. That's a 100% change, a 100% gain. And yeah, so we went from almost, from 3/4 of a month of inventory to almost 1.5 months of inventory. And to give you a reference, 4 to 6 months of inventory is what we would consider to be a balanced market between buyers and sellers. There's enough inventory at that point for buyers to choose from without having to feel pressured into buying something. And there are enough buyers on the market for sellers to put their house on the market. And as long as they put it at a reasonable price and it's in good shape, if it's not in good shape, maybe they need to sell it at a lower price. But regardless, they'll find a buyer in that kind of a market. And it may take a couple of months to find the right person, but they'll find them. So 4 to 6 months is that kind of a market. So 1.4 months is still a very low inventory kind of market. That means it'll take almost 1.5 months. If you had nothing else come on the market, it would take almost 1.5 months for that inventory to go and then have nothing on the market. In February of 2022, by that point, Second month into the year, we'd sold 10,136 properties. As of February this year, we've sold 7,715. That's a 23.9% drop. So almost almost a quarter less in total sales year to year. So again, a 20% drop in sales. And this one, so the past one was for single family homes. This one is for townhomes and condos specifically. How are they doing? What's different about them? Are they appreciating in value more? Are they depreciating in value more? Are they sitting on the market longer, quicker? What's going on? So the number of new listings dropped by 21.8% year to year. From February of last year to February of this year, from 2,200 new listings to 1,720 new listings. The number of pending / under contracts also dropped by 14.6%, from just over 2,000 to just over 1,700. Number of sold listings dropped by 28.2% year to year. So from 1849 to 1327. The median sales price rose. So from February 2022, it was at 400,000. February 2023, it was at 415,000, a 3.8% gain. The average sales price in February 2022 was $543,706. And in February 2023, it was $580,245. That's a 6.7% gain. The percent of list price received in February 22, it was 103.1%. In February 23, it was 98.9%, a 4.1% drop. So from getting multiple offers and going over to having to wait a little bit for an offer to come in. Days on market until sale for townhouses and condos was 29 days February of last year, and now February of this year it's at 56 days. How the housing affordability was at 90 February of last year, and now it's at 69. Inventory of active listings. February of last year with 1,705 active listings compared to February of this year, 2,673 active listings. That's a 56.8% gain. The month's supply of inventory at February 22 was 0.6 months. February of 23, it's 1.4 months, just like single family homes. This will show you the historical new listings that you get per month. So we're looking at single family in green and townhomes and condos in blue. And so you'll see the seasonal trend as you go from each January. You've got January, February, you've got those low points in the amount of new listings, new homes, that properties that go on the market, versus the high point, which is about that June, July timeframe. And so again, you'll see it spike up. That's when most homes are going on the market. That's when most buyers are typically looking for homes on the market. And these charts are fun because you get to look at the past couple of years. So February of 2021, there were 7,085 new listings. February of 2022, there were 6,557 new listings. And February of last month, or last year, and February of 23, I'm just going to say that, 5,271 new listings. That's for single family. For townhouses and condos, February of 2021, we had 2,473 new listings. February of 2022, we had 2,200 new listings. February of 2023, we had 1,720 new listings. Take a look at the pending under contract slide here, and it's very similar to the new listings. I won't read you the numbers here. So if you're on the podcast, I apologize. Switch over to the video, but it's very similar trend of going from a higher amount of pending under contract, just over 7,000 in 2021 to 6,000 to 5,000. It goes down in the action, basically. And you'll see that on the graph too, how it goes up for the summer and then comes down for the winter months. But townhomes and condos, as you might have noticed on the last slide and this slide, are a lot more, say, stable as far as what becomes available. It does not seem to be as seasonally motivated. The highs and lows are not quite as sharp as the single family homes. So I find that interesting is that the townhomes and condos do not seem to be affected so much by people needing to move, let's say. Sold listings, again, very similar. The townhomes and condos are not selling quite as much. There's more of a stable amount of townhomes and condos available throughout the year, which is a lower amount than the single family homes. So year to date for the solds, by February of 2021, we had a total in Colorado, we had a total of 10,782 sales. By the end of February 2022 for that year, we'd had a total of 10,136 sales. Very similar. By the end of February of 2023, the state has had a total of 7,715 new sales. So again, that's like a 20-25% drop in what's going on, right? Townhomes and condos, very similar. You went from 4,000 in 2021, 3,500 2022, to 2,300 February 2023. Just dropped a bit. The median sales price. Oh, this one's so fun. So let's look at year to date for February. So February 2021, the median sales price in Colorado was $454,900. That jumped up in February 2022 to $540,000, and it just dropped slightly in February 2023 to $530,000. So if you're thinking that we're going to continue to drop in home prices, I mean, I'm not going to predict the future right here because we're looking at historical data. We'll get into that later. Townhouses and condos. The median sales price in February 2021 was $340,000. In February 2022, it was $400,000. In February 2023, it was $409,451. Townhouses and condos have actually appreciated a little bit in value year to year. And I don't know why I'm trying to sound like Jeff Goldblum right now, so we'll skip ahead. In this graph, this is also fascinating because you get to see it uh, visually, even more in a different way. So you see the median sales price historically by the month just gradually start to rise from 2010, 2011, 2012, starts to come up in 2013. And then in that 2021 to 2022 time frame is when it starts to spike up. And then April to July time frame is of 2022 is when it starts to come back down. And now you see right at the end those prices, and I was noticing this for Colorado Springs, but it looks to be holding true statewide, is that the home prices are starting to go up as of like mid to end January is when I started to notice a change. Average sales price is very similar to that too. So average sales price for the state in February of 2021 was $586,245. In February 2022, it was $670,980. In February of 2023, it was $664,161. So again, jumped up in 2022 and then just came down a little bit in 2023. That's for single family. For townhomes and condos, February of 2021, the average sales price was $449,816. In February 2022, it was $531,705. In February of 2023, it was $563,339. It's been going up. So again, townhomes and condos have not seemed to lose the value or have the crazy ups and downs that we've been having with single family homes over the past couple of years. And if you look at the graph is very interesting, and it follows very similarly to the median sales price graph, where you can see the prices they're going up until they get to 2021 and 2022, where they spike up, and then they start to come back down. Townhouses and condos, this being statewide, I'm expecting the values of those to be very different depending on the location. I'm guessing that is why we have such an oddly up and down graph in the blue for the townhouses and condos. But on the whole, it's still following the trend of prices shooting up and then starting to come back down. But again, townhouses and condos are looking at the graph, they seem to be much better insulated against recession and economy kind of situations. For the percent of the list price received in February of 2021, it was 100.9%, so almost 1% over asking on average. 102% February of 2022, and 98.2% February 2023 for single family. For townhouses and condos, February 2021, it was 100.1%. February of 2022, it was 102.4%. February of 2023, it was 98.7%. So the price that it's listed for versus the price that it actually sells for has dropped a little bit consistently between single family homes and townhomes and condos. And you'll see that very similarly laid out in the graph here. And again, you shooting up 2021, you come down 2022 in January for the winter. So you have that up and down as a natural seasonal thing, but it becomes even more heightened during the past couple of years where the market was just crazy good for sellers. This one's the days on market until it sells. So in February of 2021, you had 40 days on market for properties. In February of 2022, it went down to 32 days, and then it shot up to 65 days last month. So you've gone from a pretty quick market to a closer to a normal market as far as days on market. And you'll see in this the graph down below, again, single family in green, townhouses and condos in blue, and they follow very similarly. The days on market was very long back in 2010 2012 timeframe, and then it started to shorten again seasonally over the years until we got down to a really low point in 2019 to 2022, where it was just very quick to sell. And now we're starting to see that come back up in this year. Days on market has jumped up a bit. The housing affordability index, housing affordability has gone down. At one point, it was for single family homes. In 2010, it was at just under 150. And for townhouses and condos, it was about 200. And so you'll see that chart come down. The affordability index comes down pretty steadily. I mean, it stays, I guess, pretty steady through 2013, and then starts to drop from there until you get to down to I guess a new low point as of 2022, pretty much on. It's the housing affordability index has dropped down to 53 as of February of this year. It was at 82 February of 2021, dropped down to 65 February of 2022. That's for single family homes. For townhouses and condos in February 2021, the affordability index was 111. February of 2022 it was at 90, and at February of 2023 it was at 69. The inventory of active listings, we went over this. We're February of this year, we're at just over 9,000 active listings for the entire month versus February of 2022, it was 5,700. February of 2021, it was 6,800. And again, down below, green single family, townhouses and condos in blue. You'll see in this graph, back to that idea that the number of townhouses and condos that list does not have a seasonal affect, is not as affected by seasonal trends, let's say, as the single family homes are. So the amount of inventory you can see has steadily come down for single family homes, and then it reached a low point in 2021 and 2022, and now it has started to come back up to about 2019, 2020 levels, and now it's dropped back down. Apparently, the inventory is going back down. the month's supply of inventory. It was at like, we had 12 months of inventory at one point. Believe that? 2010, 2011, 2012 timeframe. We had that much. And then, actually, 2012, it shot down like 8 months. And then we started going down, down, down. 2014, we're at 4 months of inventory. 2017, we're at 2 months. And we hold it kind of that 2 month point until 2021. We dropped down to a half month's worth of inventory. That's when we had the buyer real craze where everybody's just going, throwing multiple offers over asking to see what sticks. And then the inventory comes up a little bit. We get a breather in the second half of 2022 as buyers pull back from the market and take the wait and see approach. So 1.4 months worth of inventory is where we are at right now compared to February of 2022. It was at 0.7 months worth of inventory. February 2021, 0.8 months worth of inventory. This is the total overview for the market. So again, for statewide for Colorado, new listings year over year, we had a 20.1% drop. We had a 10.2% drop in pending / under contract properties. Sold properties, we had a 22% drop year over year. The median sales price did not change year over year. It's at $515,000. The average sales price dropped 1.8% year over year from $654,416 to $642,903. Not a big difference. The percent of the list price received dropped by about 4.2% year to year, from 102.9% to 98.6%. The days on market increased from 31 to 63 days. Again, the housing affordability dropped to 55. The inventory jumped up 57.1%. Oh my God, that sounds amazing. It sounds like the huge amount of inventory. We went from 7,659 active listings in February 2022 up to just over 12,000 in this year. So again, it's not a huge, it is a good chunk, but again, translating to sales have actually been 20% lower year over year, even with that extra inventory. So that tells me that's why the days on market is so much longer, is because that inventory is going to sit a little bit longer before it finds a buyer. This is the statewide lender-mediated report. So basically, this is going to tell you how many foreclosures, how many REOs sold. And again, we're comparing February of 2023 to last February 2022. So we had, how many short sales did we have February of last year? 0. How many short sales did we have February of 2023? 3. Not a whole lot. So REOs, we had 11 February of last year. We had 9 February of this year. So it's a very, I mean, look at the look at the graph. I mean, for crying out loud, we've got nothing from 2016 on. Look at that. It's just, there is not a lot of foreclosures and short sales and that kind of stuff going on. People have too much equity and their interest rates are too low to really easily get themselves into that kind of a situation. Also, we're not giving out adjustable rate mortgages. So people are pretty consistent with what their payments are going to be. And everybody that got qualified to buy houses was qualified based on their income. So they definitely can afford it unless they lose their job. So we're seeing the market not show us any foreclosures. Maybe some come up in the future, but for now, that's not really something that's going to happen. Look at the traditional sales that we've had, just regular, normal property sales versus REOs and short sales. And the sales price that you'll get for that. I mean, obviously, you're going to get less because those properties are typically in a fixer-upper kind of condition. They're going to need some work. 0.2%. That's the share of sold listings that were lender-mediated. Not a whole lot, you know. And again, you've seen some action, let me know. All right, this is for El Paso County specifically. So this is Colorado Springs and the surrounding area, basically east, everything east of Colorado Springs, that D49, Peyton area, and everything out east there. So we're including all of that together. So for El Paso County, we had, as of February 2023, we have had well, for the month actually. So let's look at year to date because I don't care so much about. No, we'll look at February. February we had 781 new listings compared to 1,069 in February 2022. Now, if you want to look at year to date, by the end of February 2022, we had 21 new listings. By the end of February 2023, we have had 1,561 listings. That's a 25.7% drop. So a quarter percent, a 25% drop in activity, really. And then the sold listings have dropped 25 to 26% in terms of what's sold. So how much for sale has dropped, as well as what has sold has dropped. So although statewide we have had an increase in new listings, for El Paso County specifically, we've actually had a drop. We have not had as much that has gone on market year over year anyway, and year to date. The median sales price in El Paso County in February 2022 was at $470,000. February of 2023, it was $447,000, so a 4.9% drop. The percentage of the list price received, similar to statewide, it was 102.9% in February 2022. It was 98.7% in February 2023. Days on market in February 22 was 13 days. February 23, it was 54 days. So it jumped up quite a bit there. The inventory, February 22, 674 properties for sale versus 1296 in February 23. The months of supply went from 0.5 to 1.2. So again, very similar to the state. And all of that is for single family. I keep forgetting to say that up front. For townhouses and condos, there were 183 new townhouses and condos listed February 22 versus 132 February 23. So a bit of a drop again. Sold listings went from 150 to 94, so a 37.3% drop. The median sales price, that did drop from 362,500 to 339,900. The average sales price went up from 350,134 to 363,237. The percent of list price received 103% to 98.7%. So that dropped. Days on market went from 11 to 36. Inventory went from 102 to 214. Not a whole lot to play with, but inventory went up a bit. Here you'll see a visual of that graph for the median sales price of single-family homes and townhouses, condos on the right. Statewide is in gray and El Paso County is in red. So as a rolling 12-month calculation, from 2018 to 2023, tracking that data, you're seeing that median sales price steadily rise and then shoot up even further in 2021. We hit our high point in mid 2022, end of 2022, and it appears either remaining flat or we could be going down a little bit. And then with the townhouses and condos, I'm not sure where that's going yet, but I'm assuming up because, again, townhouses and condos are generally going up in price and are not as affected. Now we'll switch over to Denver County. So with Denver, let's look at the graph here too. How fun. So statewide versus Denver. Denver is in red, statewide's in gray, and it's trending higher than the state, of course. For townhouses and condos, surprisingly, the value has kind of flattened, is what it looks like, as of mid 2022. So it hasn't increased; it just stayed flat. And meanwhile, the statewide it continued to go up a little bit. New listings in Denver County. There in February 22, there were 568. February 23, there were 432. That's a 23.9% decrease. So similar to El Paso County, we've had a decrease in the number of new listings, but we still have more inventory now than we did in February of 22. So inventory of homes for sale in February 22 for Denver, 346 versus February 23 with 473. Sold listings, there was a 13.9% decrease from 431 to 371. Median sales price for single family 658,000 and then dropped to 615,000. Average sales price increased from 808,953 to 820,673. That's a 1.4% gain and then a 6.5% loss on the median. So interesting. That seems to me to indicate some sort of flatness, neither growth nor decline in the prices, if you're going to average it out. The percent of list price received, 106.2% versus 98.7%. Days on market from 13 to 42, so it jumped up. Month supply of inventory from 0.4 to 0.8, so that's a double gain. And then for townhouses and condos, you had a 30.3% drop in new listings, a 38% drop in sold listings. Not a whole lot, just a few hundred, sales. Median sales price dropped 3.5% from 438,750 to 423,500. The average sales price increased from 521,324 to 544,887. The percent of list price received went from 103.3 to 98.9%. Days on market went from 21 days to 47 days. That also increased. Now, we'll look at Pueblo. So Pueblo is in red and statewide's in gray. So Pueblo's prices have followed the trend of the state and increased and have seemed to have gone flat or maybe even just continued to very steadily rise since mid-2022. And for townhouses and condos, prices continue to slowly rise through it all. So a 13% drop in new listings from 2022 to 2023, from 301 to 262. Sold listings dropped by 31.2% in Pueblo County, from 276 to 190. And again, we're comparing February's. This is single family. Median sales price increased from 316 to 329.50. The average sales price decreased from 329,568 to 327,338. The percentage of the list price went from 99.5% to 98.2%. The days on market increased from 60 to 77. The month supply of inventory went from 1.1 months to 2.3 months. So there is a lot more that is available to buy in Pueblo. But what has gone for there's not as much for sale there like the state, but it's only a 13% drop as opposed to like a 25-ish% drop. So there are more listings in Pueblo, as you can see, but a 31.2% drop in sold listings. So overall in Pueblo, there is a lot less selling and there's a lot more for sale, and it's sitting on market longer. As you can see, it's 77 days. Townhouses and condos, very few of those for sale in Pueblo County. 8 in February 2022 versus February 23 at 12. 12 total. That's it. We sold 13 last February versus 6 this February. Median sales price went from 250K to 300K. Average sales price went from 255,608 to 295,317. The percentage of the list price received went from 99.8% to 97.9%. Days on market for townhouses and condos, even though there's not many, it still takes a little while. Went from 43 days to 64 days. So it's you're not going to find as many for sale down in Pueblo County. And even if you do, you still have to find the right buyer. So that covers all of Colorado Association of REALTORS report for February of 2023. I hope it was helpful. If there's some extra information that you wanted me to cover, or if you have some comments based on this information, let me know and put a comment down below. If you watched all the way to the end, you must really love numbers or my face, but thanks for watching. And if you need help buying or selling a property in Colorado Springs or the surrounding area, let me know. I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Colorado, and I'd be happy to help you with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.